and I will be on the YouTube. So where was I? It's been a little bit. Client handlers. Here it is. Post. Request admin privileges. Setup response. Blah, 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 blah. Request administrator privileges. Verify if valid request. Then it's going to create the producer nomination. It's going to create the candidates, which should be just yes or no. And create right now. Honestly, just yes or no. Yes. No. Yes. Nope. Yes. This is no. Twice. And this is yes twice. Positions should person be admitted to Internetwork as a trusted election administrator and Honestvote admin. Okay, and then I said election name, institution, all this should come in from the post request. So request admin privileges. This should contain other stuff. What does it contain now? I have no idea. Let's go to database. Node models. Did I add this stuff yet or no? Nope, I didn't. I did not. Let's check this out. We're gonna have to reconstruct this. Add some fields. That's really all there is to it. Message, public key, and signature. So the message we want to leave, but we're going to need to say, we're going to need to add institution, domain. So I think later on we're gonna have it so that in order to become an admin, this could actually be pretty easy to implement now. Um, and it should be a story, but you'll have to add like a file to a and then create like a URL for the domain just so that you're able to prove ownership of the domain, or maybe create like a DNS record that proves ownership of it, something to prove ownership. And that would be a requirement to becoming an admin. That way, somebody doesn't claim to be Westchester that is definitely not Westchester. Selection name, institution, start, and email domain. That's it. This is the whole thing. So let's go back to node models and paste this here. Not sure why it does that, but institution, where is this? Request. Here it is, request. So then we'll say request institution request domain. Here I can say request institution start and end. I think I'm going to leave these blank for now. Election name should be producer nomination. So it's going to create that nomination, but what it should also do is create the registrations. Because the next thing it's going to do is send registrations. And then that's really it, right? Like, all that's left is the nomination. There is no signature for that yet. Definitely want to do that. That will fail. See how I generate data. With an election. Yeah. JSON.Marshall election, encode the election, and then calculate a hash and write the signature. Just like this. JSON election, JSON.Marshall nomination. Let's go back here. Do I even use JSON election? I don't think I really need to do that. I think it's just here. Control K. Dot encode. And then I can say nomination. Signature. Goes crypto sign. This would be P2P dot self dot the private key. So we got memory storage real fast. Yep, P2P dot private key. That's stored in memory. I'm hungry. I gotta get a snack real fast. Bring it up. Okay, so this is where registrations are created. Now that I think about it, it doesn't make sense for there to be a predeterministic formula to choose who's the next producer. Because if that was the case, people would be able to predict who was the next producer. There needs to be some way that it's generated that everybody can agree on is the correct random value. But there's no way to know what it is in advance. So maybe something that's shared between producers. And a hash that's like, it's weird. Matt, are you there?
What's up?
So I'm trying to figure out the best way to vote somebody into the system.
Okay.
And so in order to so basically 7 producers were randomly chosen, right?
Okay.
The problem is, how are they randomly chosen? I'm trying to figure that out.
So
You can't just do a random generator because that's depending completely on the producer that gets the request, the registration request. And so it's possible that 7 institutions, which are all controlled by the same organization, I'll add somebody else into the system, and then maybe they're adding like a bajillion people onto the network. That makes sense. You know what I mean? So like randomness can't come from a single node. The randomness needs to be shared by multiple nodes.
Right.
Now, you also should not be able to. I originally was saying we use a predeterministic formula because that's something that everybody would be able to agree on, and they'd all be able to know whether, like, a predeterministic random generator. The problem with a predeterministic random generator is that you don't know the. Wait a second, I just thought of something.
Wait, so what's
okay,
exactly?
wait, let me finish what I was saying because I just thought it came up with a good thought. But the problem with a predeterministic random generator, so just realizing, is that, so say like you're incrementing by 1 or something, or like, and that's how like the next number is generated. It would be possible for a node to be able to tell in advance which, like, who is going to be the chosen producers. And if they know in advance, then they can try to send a nomination in the correct time that they will be in advantageous position, if that makes sense. Does that make sense at all?
Think so. So when you say the chosen producers, for what exactly? Again?
So producers are nominated, or not somebody requests to become a producer on the system. They send
Right.
and then the nomination is sent from a producer, and it automatically registers 7 random existing producers to participate in that election.
To decide if they're allowed or not?
Yes. So what I'm saying is,
so why don't they
all those registrants need to be agreed upon by the system as like valid, as like an acceptable.
How about how about you have everyone in the system? Well, I don't know. So what I was thinking, maybe you could have everyone in the system choose a
I'm thinking,
number between the amount of nodes there are in the system currently, and then average what everyone gets. I guess that only gives you one, though. That only gives you one of the people. Never mind.
we're gonna do seven. I'm thinking we can generate some of the entropy. Something that is like not possible for anybody to predict is the latest hash of like a block, or the latest hash of the latest hash of a block. There's no way anybody can predict that. So if you use the latest hash of a block as the
But what would that do? How'd that?
see, except that I guess you wouldn't know what the last block was. Because you could send this election transaction, and by the time the election transaction came in, there could have been another block created. I'm thinking really hard right now.
Uh-oh.
Are you following it at all?
Oh, no.
Or are you kind of lost?
I'm about to freeze. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm about to freeze.
I can hear you fine. Why do you say you're about to freeze?
I'm about to freeze.
What do you mean?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I hear your bird going, ah, 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 ah,
You can
ah. Now he's frozen. He's definitely frozen now. I don't know how he predicted he was going to freeze. That's curious. It's a curious thing. So basically, I need to figure out a way of registering these people. I could just, for now, register everybody in the system, but and then come up with the randomness. That might be a separate story, to be honest. I think that might be a separate story just because it's so complicated. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be a separate story because I just it's just too complicated, you know. For now, everybody's doing it. They're all doing it. They're all going to participate in this election. Every producer. Is there a database function that returns all nodes? Doubt it. What do you think?
How is that?
Is there a database function that returns all nodes?
Is there one? I thought there was.
Find nodes. Yeah, there is. Query database for all nodes besides requesting node. Return list of nodes to the requesting node. What kind of nodes does it return? It returns every single node. But it doesn't return just producers. I guess that's fine. I just check for producers. All right, database dot find nodes. And it returns an array of nodes. So let's say nodes. Database dot find nodes, and then say for node nodes. I don't remember how to do this. How do you iterate through a list? Is this correct?
What was that?
Is this correct? For node. Do you remember how to iterate through a for loop Golang?
Yeah.
Is this right?
And then range nodes. The colon equals range nodes. Yeah. Here you go. That should do it. Now be careful. I think no, that will do underscore comma node, because I think that will return you a boolean or something.
No, it returns a list of nodes, so it should return. Should be a single node.
When I've done things, it's returned more than just see if it.
If node. I don't remember what it looks like. Node dot roll. If node dot roll equals here, there we go. If node dot roll equals peer, then they're registered to vote. So we'll create a registration transaction. Oh. What the heck? No, what is the thing that you were saying?
What was it?
This is saying it's returning the wrong data type or something, I think. I think you
Yeah,
were
so
right.
you want to do underscore comma node. Do in front of it, do like, so it's, yeah, there you go. That should return it.
Oh, okay.
I think
It's
it returns a
returning like the
Boolean.
number or something.
The first one, yeah, is like a Boolean or something. You can even check
Oh.
to see, but
It says an integer, so I think it's probably like the count of how
yeah,
many nodes.
gotcha.
That's weird that it would even allow that, like, because it doesn't do, because Golang doesn't do. I remember seeing this on a forum. Golang doesn't allow overloading functions, but they do
Right.
have overloading in some of their built-in functions, which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, so that one's really, really weird. With, like, fmt.println, I'm not
Yeah.
I don't think that's overloading. I think that must be an array of interfaces. But all right, we're going to the bathroom. Hello. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi there. Wow.
Huh?
You get used to it after a little bit. The bird.
Yeah. Something you gotta do.
How long have you guys had it? The birds last forever, don't they?
Yeah, no, it's like 25 years.
Wow. You've had it for 25 years? That's how long they live.
8 years, I think.
Do birds, like, in the wild live that long?
I have no idea. Sure, what could you last 25 years outside in the wild?
All right. So let's create a. I can't remember. Yeah. But it's just gonna enqueue them here. Registrant. This is so cool. And I'm going to be using like our built-in election thing for our own purpose. Type election receiver. bet this might not pass validation because you think that would work? So you're sending an election and registrations at the same time, like in the same block.
To what?
You know what I mean?
What's going on?
So say you're sending a registration for an election within the same block. Would that pass validation? Do you know?
In terms of what? I don't.
Because like it's going to be checked. So will it be in the database before the block becomes a thing?
So is the
Like
transaction?
do you receive the transactions first, or do you receive the block first?
The transactions first.
Okay, so then this should work.
Yeah, as long as
You kind of
the
understand
queue
what
is
I'm.
in, like, yeah, I think I know what you, as long as the queue is in order, it should be fine.
Okay. Well, it won't even matter for the queue because it's
No,
going to be
verify.
sending
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
out. It's going to be sending it out.
Well, the queue, yeah, the queue, because doesn't it verify before the queue is made?
It doesn't verify it because you shouldn't have to verify it if you're creating the transaction yourself.
Well, you want to make sure that the registration is for a election and all that, right?
Yeah, but that's so. I mean, for a vote, because that's coming from a random user, then you would want to check it before you add it to the queue. But for a registration, you're the one creating it. There's no reason to check it.
Isn't the registration also coming from a random person?
No, it's a registration request comes from a random person.
Gotcha.
Yeah, a random person that does not have the authority to register someone to vote. Register. You know what I mean?
Right, right. If I'm gonna go, I gotta get some homework done for my class.
Is it 12? Oh no.
11:47.
I'm gonna head out at 12 because I got work stuff I'm gonna do.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Alrighty, well, I guess I'll see you later today.
Yeah. I'll see you.
Alright, see you.
Don't want to do that. That is not good stuff. Okay, so this should register every single node to vote for this election, and I just need to test this now. But I think that this is everything that this function requires, or this story requires, besides the random part, which seems to be more complicated. So that's why I'm going to create a separate story, because I'm just recognizing that this is too much for a single story. Yeah, so let's test this actually. Run. Oh, and you know what? I have to actually create one of these requests. Where does this print to? Huh. Substitution. We need that stuff. It should just reject it if it doesn't have some of this stuff. Um, I've got to add logging as well. Okay, that's good. So now I shouldn't be able to send this, which is what I want. I don't want to be able to send this. Let me just add some login real quick. I think that I might continue this video, continue this again tomorrow, the testing part. For now, I'll just add the logging. But it doesn't seem like it's that much extra. Request domain. Here we can just say it is empty. So let me restart this, and I'll request admin privileges with this invalid request. We'll see what happens. The main field is empty. Good. EasyLife.com institution is EasyLife. That's funny. So it looks like there might be something wrong. It's possible that the problem is something to do with Merkle tree stuff that Matt is working on, in which case it would not be, it would just be a conflict or something. And it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But I think that this part's definitely working properly. Looks like it's getting stuck somewhere. Not sure where, but I'll work on that later. All right, I'm going to end this video and see you tomorrow.